Here's the thing. Every parent knows your children will face setbacks or make mistakes, whether it's a bad report card, poor sportsmanship, maybe underage drinking. But these instances can all be turned into valuable lessons or teachable moments.
That's right. I mean, the key is for parents to really teach kids how to ultimately work through their mistakes or even their setbacks in a beneficial way. And it's equally important to not let those moments feel like a parenting failure. Parenting educator and author Michelle Icard is here with some advice for parents on what to say and how to act in these situations. Michelle, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks,
we really appreciate it. You know, listen, you talk in your book about the fact that kids need to learn from failure. How do you teach your children to actually learn from these mistakes?
So the most important thing that you can do as a parent is not swoop in to rescue them. What we want is for kids to get comfortable with discomfort. And so that means learning what rejection and embarrassment and pain feel like. And in many ways, that's a great teacher. It teaches you what you don't want to do later. You don't want to feel guilt. You know, you don't want to feel bad about doing something. So don't try to mow down the grass so that your kid can go forward without any pain. We want them to feel it a little.
I'm just listening with rapt attention because that is a hard thing to do, is to watch your child fail or let them feel the feelings. I feel like our parents did do that, you know, and that's kind of what's helped us develop resiliency. One thing that I think a lot of people think is you got to check in. How are you doing? Is everything okay? And you say, no, 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 don't do that.
Don't do it too much. A little bit is okay. I call it pressing the bruise. So you may notice, oh gosh, my kid's going through some friendship issues. They're not invited to a birthday party. And that hurts me as the parent, you know, on their behalf. I don't want to go up to that kid every day and be like, hey, how's it going? Are the girls talking to you again? Did you have someone to sit with at lunch? Don't press that bruise.
You're saying don't press the bruise, but then what do you do? Because if you allow them to feel all the big feelings and you allow them to hold that, you know, shame is a tough emotion to hold. Guilt is a super difficult emotion. What do you do on the back end of those feelings?
I love that question. We don't want them to get to shame, really. It's okay to feel guilt. It's okay to feel bad or be embarrassed, but I don't want it going to shame, and shame is secrecy. So you really want to be a mirror for your kid. You want to say, you know, you can say, tell me more about what you're thinking about this, but not, are you okay? I'm worried about you. So that's the difference.
Sort of explain the thought behind the feeling.
Explain the thought, ask them to tell you more. You can always say more. What are you thinking? What are you feeling? Without bringing your own emotions into it. Like, I feel so bad for you.
What are some of the signs that you have crossed over or turned that corner? When should you get involved?
Okay, I think you want to be careful if you see that your child is really in some imminent danger. So all the stuff that naturally, normally happens, a heartache, a breakup, maybe a rejection from a school, these things are character building, ultimately. But if you see that your child is talking to someone online who looks like they could be dangerous, I don't want you to sit back and see what happens. If you have a sense of imminent danger approaching, please step in.
Or if your child's retreating.
I was going to say withdrawal, that feels like something.
Some withdrawal can be really normal, but if you're seeing extensive withdrawal without ever coming out and sort of peeking in the family room and seeing what the family's watching on TV and then going back in, that's pretty normal teen behavior. We call that cocooning. I love cocooning. What I don't want you to do is live in there forever.
Right, okay.
You actually have a three-step process to help kids sort of overcome these obstacles. What are the 3 steps?
Sure. So the first thing I want parents to do is help contain the problem. Sometimes that means containing the issue. Sometimes that means containing the kid if they're putting themselves in danger. The next thing is resolve. So I want you to take some action steps. Once you've contained, you've had time to gather some facts and you know what to do, you might need to get some other experts involved. You might need to have a good discussion with your kid, that sort of thing. And then finally, evolve. I want you to move past it, and that's the pressing of the bruise. I want you to move past it, see new things in your kid, and don't make that the headline of their childhood that you keep checking back in on.
That's a great way to put it.
Are there any key phrases that you would advise us to use? We know the ones not to do in terms of pressing the bruises, but any key phrases?
Yeah, I mean, I think a really good one is just, hey, you know, I want to check in with you, but not make it feel like you're doing it right away. Kids love time to think. So I would love to, and process. I'd love to hear how things are going, but I've got to do this email for work. So maybe after dinner, if you've got a few minutes or over breakfast, we can touch base. And that takes pressure off.
Yeah, make it casual. All right, parenting educator and author Michelle Icard, thank you so much for your time today, Michelle.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it. All right, and you're watching NBC News Daily.